We're playing 4 greens and Zenith because I want to be playing Trinisphere nowadays. There's too much Storm and Neoform otherwise, so you kinda have to be able to tackle those decks, and Trinisphere gives you an out. So if I play Trinisphere, I want to play ways to play Trinisphere on turn 2, which Dryad Arbor is. So I have 12 ways to cast it on turn 2, so I'm pretty likely to have one in my opening hand. Of course, those are reliant on having a forest in my hand, which I have 10 only, but it's fine. Witam Duo Funnel. Master, tell me what to play in the LCQ. You have the list right here. This is always interesting because some people love to have so many Orim's chants, but it's kinda like how do you beat an Orim's chant as Amulet? It's kinda tough. Of course, Orim's chant is gonna be, when it's weak is when you draw it in the middle of your combo turn. That's when it's at its worst. Sorry, mulligan this. And did too little. This hand does nothing, so we go to 5. Oh yes. No dobra, no keep. Grazer is useless. Is Dryad Arbor excusable to keep? Probably not really. Would rather just draw a bounce land to function. 99% of MTG players quit right before they go 5-0. Is that really the case? Good list for real, free too. You don't reach perfection by randomness. You need to iterate. Takes a while to iterate to get there. Mul to 5, die. Sad, don't like it. If I draw a bounce land, Spelunka into forest and top deck Scapeshift, maybe we are good. Flage is okay, that's kinda like low, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they only get 1 cut. Urza's Cave. I wish I kept my Dryad Arbor, huh? Dalkovan Encampment. Might be the first time anyone has ever activated this card against me. Interesting that it was their best play. I guess they just won a shit ton of tokens for the lulz. Doesn't really matter. Boseiju into Spelunking into Primeval Titan. Sometimes you lose. I do wonder if I should have an extra sweeper in my deck against Boros gamers still. It's a bit tricky because the sweepers are meaningfully weaker against them nowadays compared to how it used to be. But Dryad Arbor is just bad against their deck as well, which is an issue. So when I have no explorers, I probably kind of need the sweeper more. But they can be quite bad at times, of course. It's tricky. And then Force of Vigor for Moon you still kind of want to bring. Canister, gave you ever been disenchanted with something in IRL life? Not to my knowledge, no. No idea. No side out Colossus. Energy is probably the best matchup for Colossus. So, like, if you board out Colossus against Energy, that just means you hate Colossus and you board it out for no reason. And one of Colossus's best functions is to beat Trap and Charm out of energy, so... no, in fact, no side out Colossus. I think that would be... Like, if you boarded out against energy, you should just not play it. Energy and Eldrazi, those are the best Colossus matchups. Oh, slow but steady. We gain 4 life with Urza Scapeshift, potentially. I think I should play Boseiju first. That's a bit tricky, but doesn't matter much. If I want to gain 4, then maybe I won't end up gaining 4. Maybe I will play Crumbling Vestige on 2 and then Bounce Land on 3. I guess now I'll play the Turf. Given that I drew a second Bounce Land, let's just get the first one out of my hand. Maybe you're evaluating hands badly. I feel like I mool these. On the draw I would mool. On the play it's fine. I have Boseiju for moon, I have Spelunking, I can keep up the Boseiju for the moon, so... I will Titan on turn 4. That means that opponent gets 3 turns of play before that, so they'll do something, but not that much.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Tempted to play Urza Saga, it's quite weak against Tear. I guess I can just do this. It might Tear in response. What does the turn to Ragavan imply? It's probably a relatively strong moon signal. TBH. They already know I have the Boseiju, so they will just not play it, but maybe they still will. Will I play Titan on Arena if they would put bounce lands on and Amulet there? If you want me to, sure. I would try it. I'll probably play it in qualifier weekends. Sounds like a good idea. Also, Philpin, thank you very much for the sub. Got QPs for more LCQs? No, I do not. Also, I don't really vibe with Legacy and Vintage currently, and I haven't played them, and oh, Exile Tolaria West could be a problem. Seems like Moon. Or God of Souls, I guess it could be God of Souls. Plus Moon in the deck. Dobra. Playing Moon. No, Ajoni. It's a bit of a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ay. They get a significant amount of tokens. How much power is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe you would have been wise to mool those, actually. Maybe you evaluate your hands well, because my opponent's turn 3, after how weak their turn 2 was, impressive, frankly. Can't even attack into a Johnny. I'm in trouble. I don't know if I have anything to search that's meaningful. No T-West. Day of the Horse legendary LCQR can defeat Boris in a casual league. Yeah. It is rare to draw so many lands in a game in a 31 land deck. It's actually giga common. It's like every other game. Isn't that the case? Well, of course, Boros's main plan is to race you, and the secondary plan is to interact. Obviously. There really is no lands that do anything. I think if I Colossus next turn, I can win easily. So I should just keep up Boseiju. Any merit to keeping double Boseiju? Pretty minimal. Can't really envision that. Pyroclasm channel land when? Such a missed opportunity with Songhenzan. Make 2 spirits with haste. How is that a red effect? Now 2 damage to each creature. Ooh. That effect would need to be costed at 3 mana to be useful right now, so maybe that's a bit of a sketchy cost, but... Is there not a Pyroclasm land? Good job in the mocks. Well, we're not in the mocks yet, but thank you. Get Mirrorpool. I guess it's fine to get Mirrorpool, doesn't matter. Pipeline land. Text. Damage. Formats. Modern. 55, so we can even look through them. Barbarian Ring. Blighted George, 2 damage to target creature or player, not quite a Pyroclasm. City of Us. Lost Veil. It's funny because Lost is like Lotus almost. Kill out Megaliths, we have no hand. Oh, instant adventure, create a 0/1. That's so sad. Quicksand. There was a Kaldheim land that just dealt 2 damage to each creature, I'm pretty sure. Blue-red. Surtland Frostspire. Almost. I mean, this is almost playable, yeah, it's almost good. We played Port of Carfel, we played Litiara Mirror Lake. This cycle is just secretly giga broken, frankly. Great cycle of uncommon lands. Obsidian Charmo, no? Sits. Mirror Poop. O, co ono sits, no? Whoa, Adjoni not attacking? Prevent all damage a source of your choice would deal this turn. What did we draw? GSZ, I think I win. Nice. Well, let's win first and then we're gonna progress. Well-earned victory, thanks. Feels like I can just play Mr. Beast. That's probably gonna be the fastest. Because there's no T-West, so I would need to copy the Titans. Maybe that plays around Surgical a little bit on Mirrorpool as well. Frankly. Draw 5 with Colossus. I mean, draw 5 spells and have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Plus a Titan attack if things go badly, but that's gonna be giga annoying. Not really, I guess I have the Sweeper in my deck. So I think Colossus just for time optimizing, we are in a league. And also to play around Surgical. Whoa, this game was incredible. I am on a draw now, which means I will just resubmit. Seems like the wisest move to take. In the meanwhile, since opponent scooped... Oh, that's return to win, okay. We could look at the Kaldheim lands. Make sure we don't miss out on any bangers. How many lands? Axgard Armory. Search for an aura and or an equipment card. Gates of Ishtvel. You gain 2 life and draw 2. Put a counter on each of up to 2. Vigilance and lifelink. Destroy land, make a troll. Whoa. 4 for white and angel. You have to sack a creature. So it ascends to become an angel. 3 damage to a player, they discard a card. Wow. Mirror Lake, which is Mirrorpool from Temu. Port of Kartoffel we all know and love. Up to 1 target creature you don't control gets -2/-2. Create 2 elves. 5 mana? That's pretty expensive. And nonetheless, I keep my point Mulligan to 6. I hope they won't interact. Against Werther, it's actually better to not play an Amulet. Not play Saga this. No, is it? It's not, because I can then wear the Amulet. So a Werther will stop my turn to kill anyways. It's best against Moon to have a Construct Factory by turn 3. Maybe that can beat Ocelot Pride, not sure. 2 Ocelot Prides, Arid Mesa. We sandbag, right? But with Vestige, no? Why would I sandbag? Doesn't seem advantageous. You mean you want to go for a turn 3 win to beat Static Prison? But Static Prison is not even played much. Maybe the best move here is to play Crumbling Vestige first and the Spelunking. Doesn't seem to matter, but technically, sort of, if they Orim's chant me now. They could be Orim's chanting, yeah. Okay. Orim's chant. Actually, no, not really. I was just having a fit, seemingly, in the other room. We could die to Solitude. I have once seen an energy less with Solitudes, and ever since then I'm giga scared that it's gonna happen to me somehow. I think it never has, but the fear is the mind killer. What did they cut for Solitude? No idea. I don't remember, so I can't say. Obvious keep. Amulet Saga. Turn 3 win. Full Broku, Kurabu, thank you very much for your sub. I appreciate your support. Chat at RC Lil. Was it Lil? Lil? Last year when I qualified with Amulet, and that was when I was releasing the Amulet book. I remember a player coming up to me and saying, "Hey, Kaneki, I bought your guide and it was the best amulet guide I ever bought." Which I thought, damn, that's nice. Glad you like it. Be like I can play the Grazer. If I draw a second amulet, still win, right? On turn 2. With that line, I just go Amulet, Amulet, Turf, Zenith for Grazer, 6 mana, Pact for Titan. Has been a big help. There is a lot of information out there on the deck, and a lot of the thought leaders have very different opinions on cards. Whoa, Mountain and Energy? I guess they do pretty often play a single mountain, so it's not that weird. Yeah, there's different thoughts, certainly. You can play games in different ways, so it's not like you're gonna reach a consensus amongst all of the players ever, but that is also how I kind of wanted to write my guide as well, though. I tried to list out the reasons as to why I do stuff and explain the reasonings rather than only give you the deck list. Because I think it is plausible that like so you can read my guide and like be like, oh yeah, like it makes tons of sense to me, but still reach different conclusions. Johnny sits. I yield until end step. To this day I find it kind of crazy that how powerful Ajani is for 2 mana, the Planeswalker side. Compare it to T-Bout, yes. Which is of course an unflattering comparison, but you like any card in the game, but well, or rather a flattering comparison. I draw Mirrorpool. Is that a problem? Not really. Maybe an annoyance, but it's good. The stack. Do I wish to use the ability? Oh yeah. I hecking do. What decks outside of Amulet would interest you in Modern right now? Probably some of the Sewer, Valence, Camera combo decks. They sound kind of interesting. Kind of powerful. And pretty neat. Most importantly. When will we have a heart monitor? I was supposed to buy one. I promised Zerk I will buy one, then I forgot. Not when I remember to buy it. Hopefully that's gonna be soon. How does a heart monitor even look like? It's like a watch, right? You just wear a watch on your hand and it tracks and sends the data. Is that how it works? I assume. Whoa. Many triggers. Remember chat, they are still monitoring the impact that Amulet Titan decks have on the length of modern rounds, so we have to click quickly. Monitoring so hard. I'm hacking monitoring this Canister Skies place right here. Heart rate monitors. Compatible with Pulsoid app. Polar H10. $100. Kupsko. $30. Oh, that sounds interesting. Dobra, daję Polar H10, Just for Xerkuwa, Allegro.pl. Sensor tętna, dobra, czystówki, czujnik tętna. No jakoś tyle by trzeba wydać na to. Wow. A nie, to zegarek z czujnikiem tętna, to we don't need that. Dryad Arbor out. Vampir's Vengeance in. GZS out. Urza Saga out. I wonder if Force of Vigor is actually even good against energies, because it might still cost you. It might be net negative minus win rate, because whenever I actually draw a hand with that card, it kind of sucks. But of course, when I play the moon, I wish to draw it. Which is the reason for... even more reason to play Vampire's Vengeance. You use it to survive under moon for a bit longer, and then you... also this hand is so good. So good. Your local store has a lot of affinity players. Are you having trouble beating them? Affinity can be tricky, but it feels like it's favored for the most part, in my experience at the very least, but they definitely can have draws that are kind of scary and maybe even unbeatable. Okay, Grazer to block. Is there merit to playing the Amulet on this turn? There is some merit, I think. It's a bit tricky, because I would like to have the Boseiju in my hand as well against Moon. But also I want to bounce the Crumbling Vestige for red mana. I'm playing 4 Simic Growth Chambers and 3 Gruul Turfs right now. By the way. Whoa. Galvanic Discharge. Which charge? Is that a one-lander situation? Lotus Field is gone. Flooded Strand. It is a two-lander situation. Should I bounce Vestige now? Not really, right? I should... don't think it matters. I can't keep up Vengeance. Yeah, at the end I want to have Boseiju in my hand. I just can't keep up Vengeance, but that's fine. I'll just keep up Moon Protection. They had no turn to play, might have Moon. Ragavan can hit me, that's fine. They have no place, they can have the treasures, they don't do anything. They mulligan to 6. Cast a Galvanic Discharge, only 3 cards left. I'm Moon Protected, I can sweep later, it's gonna be useful still. In some spots like this, the 3 mana cost of the Vampire's Vengeance is a little bit tricky, but also if it was a Pyroclasm, it still would be tricky because I wouldn't want to tap out at Sorcery speed. Also good versus Werther. Yeah, I'm fine against Werther, for sure. Did think about getting hit by that, but we are okay. We play the other Spelunking. Yeah, but then we don't hold up a... Well, I'm fine against Werther. They hit me with a Ragavan for another time, I just replay the Spelunking, so they don't really gain anything. Thrice is the final limit. Oh yeah, we're getting close. Discard too. What do we discard? Flage and land. Makes sense. You do keep Boseiju up. If I play the other Spelunking, how do we do that? If I bounce the bounce land? You mean? Then I play the Spelunking and I just have it in play. I just wanted to cycle it. I guess you are right. I think you are right. That would be slightly better. Whoa, chat, you are a genius. Collectively, you are geniuses. If I attempt to haste Raben Charm into land into arena, haste Pledge 12 plus 5. That kills me, so I wouldn't want that to happen. I think I'll just do this. I think that leaves me safe from almost anything. Any vampires? No. This is a funny looking elemental. What set is it from? White, red. Red. 9 AM on Tuesday, you can locate Boros players in leagues. It's actually 4:30, so that's why they're here. They spend a treasure, I guess they would like to surveil over keeping a treasure. Makes sense. When could Thrab and Charm kill my Titan now? I wonder how problematic that is if that happens. Maybe slightly. Does anything matter? A Thrab and Charm they obviously don't have. Doesn't seem to matter. Guess I'll attack first. Yeah, they don't have Trap and Charm, I know. That's why I said they don't have it. Green Suns Zenith. Whoa. They're casting, chat. Time to surveil. Make sure your next draw step is alright. Oh, I win. Opponent last seen playing Affinity 3 days ago. Does my hand beat Affinity? The true answer is not really. The truthful answer. Hmm. Let's say opponent plays turn 1 Urza Saga, then I will go. Well, I go first. So I go Boseiju, Dryad Arbor. Opponent will play Urza Saga. I copy it. And then I draw a bounce land in 2 turns to win. If that doesn't happen, I have free mana. I mean, it's already a 6. It's a weak 6, but I feel like I'm keeping that. Imagine opponent playing Arid Mesa here. No way. They played Affinity before. They can't switch decks. But that would be an issue. Seachrome Coats. Wide Affinity. Welding Jar. Welding Jar seems alright with Kappa. I guess some of the removal is exiling. So maybe it is not. P-hole. Ooh la la. Wawa wee wah. 4 Welding Jar. Expedition map. Interesting. Welding Jar plus Dumpling Sphere. Annoying AF. The best solution to Welding Jar is Collector Ouphe. You sound like a person who doesn't play Collector Ouphe and then just complains about Collector Ouphe. Like, about not having Collector Ouphe. Curious. Wish I had something to get with GSZ here, but... Should I even play the Amulet? Against a quadruple portable hole deck? I probably don't. I'll just wait. Keeping Vesuva in hand, they still might run out a Saga on turn 2. That's the most natural turn to play out your Saga. I'm glad I did not play my Amulet. Did I just want an artifact so badly, or... I guess they do. I mean, they probably want Kappa. Clearly. Punished for not playing my Amulet. It seems like they're not playing Saga anytime soon. Seems like I shouldn't play my Amulet still. I'm playing Spelunka next turn. They can't play Kappa without a land or an artifact. They played a land or an artifact. They can play Kappa. The clock is ticking. They still have 5 cards in hand, 4 after playing Kappa, so 4 spells would mean that Kappa can trigger a bunch, likely. And I can't kill the Kappa, although regenerating removes it from combat, right? So we can still buy a turn by killing it. Costs 6 mana. It is interesting that ward costs, the way they are designed, mostly costing mana, make it so that it's easier to kill those creatures for ramp decks. It's really interesting. Why would I ramp deck have an easier time killing a Kappa Cannoneer. Yet here we are. Truly baffling. Portable Hall. Okay. I guess there wasn't much reason to play out the Amulet still. But also not that much value in saving it. Whoa, this Kappa. Get hit for 9. Have to win. Through Tormod Script. That's gonna be challenging. Or kill Kappa. Or they can have no artifact. Probably should have pacted in my upkeep to thin. But I wouldn't know what to get, so I guess I didn't need to. Podcast. If they draw 2 lands and they still can't play an artifact, we're actually good. No wymyśliłeś, geniuszu, nie? Krang Mastermind. Skateboard, Shadow Spear. A weapon of darkness for a warrior of light, and why skate a half pipe when you can skate a sewer pipe? You have 2 Emery, 1 Hanweir Might. Best answer to Hanweir Might is Emery, and best answer to Emery is Collector Ouphe. Kinda like stock up against Affinity sometimes, but I can't really like fully explain why, it just feels good to me. Feels appropriate. Raffles hand after pitching to Force. Yeah, that might be it. It's just that the Affinity games take actually a long time, often weirdly relatively long. So you can cast a stock up and then you can have the cards in hand and untap with them. Because they are fast, but also they're slow. They're only fast if they kappa you early, but you can't really kappa early. Kappa is not a fast card. It's fast once it's in play, but it's like a turn replay often. How much do normal decks struggle against kappa? What happens if you play Kappa Cannoneer and you play against Gurayos or something like that? This hand is close to being nice. 1 bounce land away over the second Grazer and it's giga nuts. Well, maybe not giga nuts, but it's fine. As it was, horrible hand, but this we can keep. I think I put back Spelunking. Although against quadruple portable head, I don't really want to do that. In a way. Could put back Lotus Field. It's a bit awkward in my hand. I will need to rely on drawing some extra lands if that happens, but it might actually be the move. I think it is. Put back Amulet to play around Hall. I think that's too weak. Because if they don't have the Hall, my hand is really nice with an Amulet. It uses it really well. We get a turn 2 free drop. Choosing which to deploy will be tough, but I guess their deck has 4 portable Hall. So it's actually specifically quite nice against Collector Ouphe. You can exile Collector Ouphe with your Hall quite easily. Emery portable hall. Actually kind of like a checkmate situation against Ouphe. Dryad Arbor good versus Hall? Yeah, we're probably gonna do that. If they do Hall, we can summon Dryad Arbor. That actually sounds like a pretty legit line here. I think I still will. Maybe it changes a bit with the Crumbling Vestige in hand, but not that much. Why is Bojuka Bog called Barrow Downs now? It's the alternate universes beyond treatment. It's the Barrow Downs from Lord of the Rings. So it's most Bojuka Bogs in existence are still called Bojuka Bog. Dumpling, okay. 6 doesn't do too much into the construct. Blocking it. What if I go 6? Vestige 6. Next turn. Use Urza's Cave to pick up Boseiju. Gruul Turf, pick it up, kill the construct. Not sure if that puts me in this position I want to be in. Play bounce land to get Urza's Cave to gain 4 life. That's actually a fine line. In a way. But I don't think this game is much about 4 life. I think I should play 6 still. It's a bit awkward, but... I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? I will lose a game of Magic the Gathering, that's fine. Also, opponent representing Rebuke. I mean, sure, if they rebuke my spell, I'll be in a worse spot, but... What do you want me to do about it, right? Just, if it's happening, then it's happening. Oh. I'm stupid, I don't have an amulet. No, yeah. Guess 4 life it is then. Whoops. If I lose this match, I'm adding a third Force of Vigor into my sideboard. Imagine Hurkyl. Hurkyl's Recall. That has upsides. And downsides. Whoa, they found Shadow Spear? Isn't that a bit odd? Why do you keep the mana up? But for Force of Negation? But like, you will not have a blocker for 6? That sounds stupid. Is that a trick? Boseiju, that's quite nice. Opponent going to turn off Lotus Hexproof of Spear. I see, they've got big plans. If I was courageous, I could kill the Dumping Sphere. I think I just leave the sphere in play. Kappa. That's an odd play. Tapping the construct. What is their instant? Is it really just Force of Negation? That doesn't make much sense. To just keep it up so hard. Does this deck play Sinks? Oh yeah, it could be Sink. Sink into Stupid, but... I mean, tapping the construct is so funny. And to my 6 that gets to attack. Sure. I have to pay for a Pact next turn. I only have 2 green. One of them is Dryad Arbor. Could go a bit badly, but we can also cave for my last Vestige to actually pay if my Dryad dies. Play Sphere first, then cycle with Fiery Islet. That can't be right. Now your next spell costs +2 mana. I feel like my opponent has gotten overwhelmed this game. It was kinda too much for them to handle the 6 in play. Not a bad draw. It did have the force. Sad. Play the 4 mana Analyst and pass. Keep the Simic Growth Chamber in play. If they portable hole my Analyst, then we can free it. And mostly loop. Not copying the with Mirrorpool the force. Ooh, that's nice. I must have missed it. That would have been a nice play. It was like a good spot to do that. I have 9 mana. Alright, I'll Titan actually. I hacking love Boseiju chat. Opponents all interaction, no threats. No, they had a Kappa and they had an Urza Saga. They declined to make a second construct. They declined to block my 6. And they just declined to attack me when they could have attacked me for 6 damage. I think if they just played their cards instead of keeping the counters, then I would have crumbled. There's no reason to board out Saga against this opponent. They just mostly have counter magic. They have all the dumping spheres, so I guess Scapeshift. It's maybe actually just weak. Vexing Bauble seems really bad. He drew 6 lands, that's why also he lose. Yeah, 6 lands is too bad. Can't play game with 6 lands. I feel like trimming some of the grazers makes sense. They don't play Harbinger. Typically they don't. Also last decklist from this opponent doesn't. Makwin Sauce redeems skip song. You think 15k points is enough to skip my 6
What
hour
has
43
Nathan
minutes.
Goldberg done to my favorite streamer to make him play
Synthwave,
Dryad Arbor and
Dreamwave,
only one
Vaporwave,
explore?
Chill
Blink
Synth
twice
song.
if you're in danger, Kaneki.
Alright, we'll skip and listen to your song and then we're gonna come back. Turn to Collector Ouphe with Saga. Then the second Saga. This might be way too weak. But I'm curious. Ventura, thank you very much for your Prime sub. I appreciate it. I began to play Trinisphere in my sideboard to have a shot against other combo decks. When I play Trinisphere, I want to have an enlarged amount of turn 1 accelerants available. That's what happened. I hope it's reasonable. Understandable. Skateboard. Tap my woodland. Whoa. The Dryad Arbor so far hasn't been particularly great, I guess. That has to be admitted. Outcast Explore. This seems like a pretty likely rebuke. We don't want to have synced sagas. That's bad against Consign. We haven't seen Consign, but my opponent plays Giga slowly. They might have one. Whoa, Kappa anytime now. Do I even play the Ouphe? Because there's also Portable Hall. Just let my opponent play it. Seems like they might also be holding on that. Probably gonna make a construct instead. If my opponent doesn't have something like Werther, then I'm good. If they have a Kappa, they are somewhat incentivized to tap out for Kappa at some point. Very pathetic game from their POV. What is the hand they kept? I think they have Kappa, Portable Hall, and Metallic Rebuke. Or Consign, or... No, they don't have Consign. Or a 3 mana counterspell. Which card started in their hand? I don't know, but... hard to say exactly. Not double constructing here. I played Ouphe. Werther, I guess, was their card. That's solid. Which means I can have 2 tutus. So skateboard is haste, right? +1/+0 and haste, it's Lava Spore Boots. I feel like the construct is not needed. Well, I still get to Ouphe, but I want to have 3 mana to pay for Metallic Rebuke is what I meant. Which they didn't seem to have last turn, but I'm still thinking about that. Slightly concerned about construct's abilities cannot be activated. Maybe I should even lead on Analyst. Maybe that's actually better. Not really, because Analyst gets blanked by the Tormod script, so I kind of have to like do it this order. So they didn't have it. This way, next turn I can use Aftermath Analyst to get back a bunch of lands. Or I am protected from their Tormod script. Not anymore. But I can be in the future. Okay, I guess I can't. They had more portable halls than I thought. That was their hand. Just not a single threat. Whoa, what a keep. I guess slow Titan is just the plan. End of turn I draw. Why not immediately? What if you draw a Mishra's Bubble, huh? Seems like they drew Kappa. I guess no, we don't really know that. It felt like they started tapping for Kappa, but I guess we didn't really know that. O kurwa, ten to jest dobry tutaj. Ja pierdolę, aleluj. 2 mana, 8 for draw 4 cards. Holy. That's a good top deck. Impressive. My opponent has Rebuke now. I guess I probably lose. They don't. Cosine. Dispatch. Okay. Opponent loves to interact. Frankly, who doesn't? Interacting is so nice. You don't? Whoa. You dia, more like you do not. Yeah. Maybe 2 bounce lands to play Colossus, Giga draw next turn. Really weak to Dumping Sphere, so probably not. They drew another Pineapple Emissary. They're casting Capichon. Wow. Didn't want to tap the drones. Does attacking with the drone matter? Didn't you want to have a bigger Kappa? That would seem meaningful. Could tap the drone and skateboard. I mean, Krang was giga impressive, but I can just block it, right? It doesn't fly. Can block it with the construct. This game quickly spiraled into not looking so great. They still draw 2 cards from the bubbles. Ay. What if I draw Amulet now? That's probably my best out. Amulet or Spelunking. Or Echoing Deeps. Or Echoing Deeps. Save me, mister. No nie, no co robisz? Dobra, może być. Dispatch does barely matters. Wow. Echoing Deeps, copy Crumbling Vestige. So I stop now. Pick up Echoing Deeps. Spend my free mana to Spelunking. Echoing Deeps. Spelunking. Lotus Field. Free mana. Replay Lotus Field. Haste attack. This might be it. It's a bit tricky. I have only 5 minutes. I have to act as well. Very bad dispatch, by the way. Like, you shouldn't cast it, opponent. Can't you just Boseiju? Just Boseiju. Just Boseiju and then what? Just Boseiju. Maybe I can. But what happens if I Boseiju? Kappa is not worth 5, not this time. Whoa, odd timing, I guess. Might time out. It is a danger. And by might, I mean I guess I surely will at this point. I think I win though. Like, I think my opponent made a few large mistakes and then they're gonna catch up to them. Maybe I can win in 2 minutes. I'll have to click fast. I can't mess around anymore. They did not exile anything too crucial, just a bunch of value cards. Kurwa, F6 dałem już, proszę mi tutaj. That Tormod script? Yeah. Like, why would you? What prompted you? This patch is great here for... It's a great time waster, I guess. Might also just be a good draw, frankly. Might have been a good move, but... Yeah. I mean, I guess I could Boseiju Otawara all their items. But I time out before I do that. But we have the loop. Unfortunate. Very lengthy game against Mr. Affinity. I would also haste my Ouphe and attack them for 3 damage. Maybe even 4. And I can also draw my deck and gain infinite life with Spelunking, so... We could count that as a win. Mostly. I will loop until the last second in my veins passes. Which is now. Essa the king. Giga Essa. This hand sucks, so I'll keep it. We are going to keep an eye on the metagame as it evolves and continue to watch the impact that Amulet. Very well put, Sia Bosch. Very well said. I'm gonna continuously observing that impact over and over. Prepare to reveal Crumbling Vestige. I love playing against Boros Energy. Whoa, just Whalefall. Be careful. And think twice before you post. Because next time I might be in a worse mood. I mean, I guess I can die to Moon if I tap out for Grazer now. I mean, I could also just not die to Moon by putting a Gruul Turf into play, and I have enough agency to make that choice for myself. Like, that's a perfectly fine play. What's that? Consign? Maybe that's Jeskai, they have 2 Flooded Strands, but I mean, Boros also plays Flooded Strands. Consigning this is kind of crazy. March, that's less crazy. It is March. It's 24th of March today, chat. And they played March of Otherworldly Light. Very flavorful opponent. I haven't played against Jeskai in a while. Derek won with March and Cassie Jones yesterday. Well, Cassie Jones doesn't interest me much, but March sounds good. Sounds fun. Isn't it better to be able to go draw step for Saga here instead of double bounce land? Don't think I really want to draw step Saga here against a revealed March gamer. I get what you're saying. I played the bounce lands, they... Maybe it was worthwhile. Didn't feel like that's the case to me, but maybe it was fine. I did not pay much mind to that line. In general, in games like this, I don't like to rush things. I just like to take my time and play in a way that's uninteractable, really. And the cave will be useful at some point for sure. If they have another consign, they could consign my Titan trigger. They could also concede. I guess they don't have removal for Titan. So like, nope. It's too much for me, broski. Can't take it anymore. How do we board against Jeskai? Probably Barrow Downs against their Flages. I don't know if they might cut them. Mr. Beast is a bit weak against the consign spam. Bauble. Jeskai typically doesn't really have pitch spells in it, so it's pretty bad, the Bauble. They just have Solitude, but that doesn't matter. Sure, pitch away. They attack Saga a lot. You have to dismember, yeah, it's good. Subtlety, yeah, I've seen Derek play subtlety sometimes. It's not common. I could maybe keep this hand if this wasn't in it. If I could actually Zenith for a Dryad Arbor on turn 1, I could see keeping this hand. But I can't. This would be better if I move to 6. This is fine. Probably put back Hanweir. Hanweir Battlements. Arid Moisa. Would be nice to block with Ragavan. Likely I will not be able to, so guess we just disremember. No place. Nice. I'm kidding, Chad. I actually know they have Peliander deck. to realize that. Whoa! Do they? Do I realize that? Whoa, no play. You might have Felia now. Could be holding up consign too. Well, obviously, right. You mean like over Felia, yeah, but they just don't have anything. Like, holding up a consign on turn 2 is not something to fear. Either. It would be nice to be able to GSZ for a Muldrifter. Like, if I could spend... I could go X4 and get an actual draw to soon. Hopefully. It's a bit awkward. I put a colorless land into play, so now Obsidian Charm costs 4 mana. If they draw a land, they can play it, kill my bounce land, set me back a lot. You have seen people talk about Speaker as it rams with bounce lands and can find threat. I wonder if Speaker would be better here than 6 in this spot. It could be. Where is our Minstrel? I think Minstrel would be pretty bad to get here still, so I don't have it, it's fine. It's actually good that I don't have it because I will not search for it. Could get maybe slightly wrecked by Solitude Ephemerate. Exile all of my guys. Untap, play land, Charmo the land. What's that? Cassie Jones, no niezły kurwa dzikus, nie? Wow. Sacred Fungi, can't keep up consign, impressive. I guess Cassie Jones is perfect stats to defeat 6. Just ideal. That's impressive. Will they kill my Dryad Arbor? No, they went after 6. That's crazy. I think that's really bad. But killing the Dryad Arbor would be also giga ballsy. Hey, that's a nice draw. Another BNR, another dodge by the most toxic deck in the format Amulet. Congratulations, we'll get you one day canister. Mods. 1 hour timeout. Take your ugly Bantuk where you came from. You were testing this card a bit as a GSZ target for X equals 3. Ignis Scientia. Look at top 6. And how was it, I guess? How was Ignis Scientia? Hello, Joseph MTG. Welcome to the Amulet Canny stream. It was rarely relevant. Yeah, that's like typically my end conclusion with that. Sometimes you are at 4 mana and you can't quite reach 6 mana with the cards you have in your hand, and in those spots it would be nice to have a bridge card. But getting 6 is often just fine enough. Could extract my Lotus Fields, then I can't loop. I think I can handle that, but maybe I should keep Mr. Beast, because they are an extraction deck. I was thinking if I can play around that. Maybe I could have. I think not really, because then they can extract Analyst, so it's always kind of gets me. Whoa, they have a River Pyre Verge. There's strong reason to suspect that they don't have another Solitude. So I'll copy the Titan. If they do, then tough luck. Sometimes life is tough. Simply. I mean, you can copy again if that happens. So I still am left with a Titan in play, and they have to discard 3 cards to Cassie Jones. Okay. Jeskai defeated. The issue with those cards is that well, you can't cast it when you draw it, and it's not really like when you can GSZ for a 4-drop, then you already are close. You can almost GSZ for a 6-drop. I mean, it's 2 mana away, so it's not that simple maybe, but I think it's somewhat simple. Explosives can be really annoying out of Affinity. I'm glad they played it on 0. Drawing a Lotus Field, pretty horrible. Or is it? Next turn, if I play my Lotus Field and Grazer, next turn I have 2 lands, 2 Scapeshifts, 4 mana. I draw any land, not a bounce land, not a Lotus Field. I play it. I have 5 mana. I Scapeshift. I get 3 Vestiges. I get to 7 mana. I Scapeshift with 3 mana floating. So I think I should play the Lotus Field and Grazer. Because that means I win if I draw a land. If I draw a bounce land, it's a bit weaker, but I'll just wait a turn and then with Boseiju up. If I draw a Titan, I can just play it with Scapeshift. GSZ also plays a Titan. Or does it? Trutum. Is that still a win? If I Scapeshift for 2 Vestiges, that's not a win. I only have 2 lands. No, it is not a win. Of course it is not. Next turn though, it should be. I could get interacted with. Explosives on 1 would be brutal. Just kinda game losing unless I draw Spelunking into bounce land. Then it's actually still fine. Weapons manufacturing, sure, I can take that. Okay, I can block Kappa. I guess I will. Not often you get that opportunity. You had an explore land drop and didn't need to Grazer. Saving the Grazer was good if you draw a bounce land. Don't think you're right. Turn 2, I played Boseiju, Saga, Explore. Then I played Lotus Field from my hand. And then I played Grazer to put the second Boseiju into play. So I did spend all of my land drops. I think we win. I get Vestige, 6 mana. Scapeshift again. Can I beat Rebuke? Rebuke is likely. What if I get... Oh, Slant Vestige. Can I play around Rebuke if the first one resolves? I think I have to cast it still because it doesn't really improve for me. Yeah, they Rebuke and then I'm fine next turn to go. No Rebuke? Whoa. So I get Bounce Land, Vestige. Replay Vestige. I go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Then I Scapeshift. Go to 6 mana. I look for Urza's Cave and Tolaria West. I go to +3 mana. So I go to 9 mana. Use Cave, go to 6, Bounce Land, 10. Grazer, 13. So I think they can't rebuke me anymore. If I didn't mess up at any point counting. So I go Vestige, Grove Chamba. I mean, I have double Amulet in play, so that's so much mana that obviously I have enough to play around stuff. Well, but then what? Well, I have a Lotus Field in my graveyard, so then I just loop because I have Urza's Cave, as I said. Whoops. Vesuva can also copy Islet. Yes, yes. Is Vesuva in my graveyard? No. So, yeah, it can. Sure. Summoneros Pacto. I even milled the Shifting Woodland to make things easier. Whoa. Absolute trigger overload. So many items to be put on the stack. Phantom untaps. I think it was a dead Boseiju. Dead Boseiju theory in practice. In plain sight. Do I think there is a world in which they ban Analyst and leave the Amulet version with Dryad? Whoa. Is that ban talk? Just ban Amulet already? Chat. Remember, this is Canny stream. This is not Spike stream. The last message from Tabular Tony yesterday. Can't believe Amulet didn't get banned. 6-0, almost like Amulet should get banned. No way you're playing dual commander. Probably the only Amulet that Amulet will be legal in. Alright. Whoa. Seems like this is a continuous perpetrator that just flies by because I don't pay enough attention to ban talkers sometimes. You just don't get it, chat. Why would a person not like Amulet of Vigor? Something has to be wrong with them. When it's objectively the coolest ever Magic the Gathering deck. But I guess some people just don't get it. Do I like the modern version or the Bloom version? I mean, which one I prefer? Which one I liked more during its time? I think I kind of like the deck more right now. But also I was younger when I was playing the Summer Bloom version, so that also contributes to liking it. You think opponent had the rebuke? They had their chance. They could hit my first Scapeshift. They did not. They could have it, but it's not clear. They did. Is Mirrorpool a pool made of mirrors, or is it just that surface is like a mirror? It's a good question. The art of the Mirrorpool leaves us with more questions than answers. Sex was kind of weird last game, but I guess it was pretty good still. Maybe I could Pact. What's on Bauble or only on the play? I really dislike Bauble on the draw. I don't really like it on the play. I think it just attacks the irrelevant parts of the affinity deck. And I get it that the 0 drops are needed to play your Kappa. But it's only gonna be good in my opening hand, and it's gonna be worse than any replacement later on. So I really don't like it. But there is merit to bringing that. A little bit of merit. I just don't like it much. It doesn't make much sense to me. Basically, I feel like my deck is... like, the matchup is good enough that I don't really want to turn to cheesy tactics like that. Whoa, see, they bubble me. That's funny. Who bubbles who? The bobbler becomes the bobbled. Whoa! This card is fucked up. Draw 4 for 2 mana. What's next? A Metallic Rebuke? How big is this guy? 7/4. Don't like that. But I'm shocked. I mean, I would shock here every time to cycle the bubble. Or to just represent it for the lulz, so... they do not necessarily have it. They shocked prior to playing Krang? No, they drew the land with Krang. I think I should play... I don't know, it's pretty tough. I think I should play Analyst. Because then they don't get to spend mana on Consign. They rebuke the Analyst, that's kind of fine. Okay, they didn't have Rebuke. Or maybe they did, but... decided that Analyst is not good enough to rebuke. Urza Saga. Tormod Script, no nie. Tumbling Sphere, weź się odpierdol, no. I have no idea what's the power of this guy either. 8/4. Guess I'm taking it. Taking 8. Mox Opal. Another Krang, makes sense. Holy shit, draw 4 cards. So many cards. Is that Capichon? Cost them 7 mana, right? It's another Dumpling Sphere, brother. Give me a so-called break, please. With Mirrorpool in my hand. 3 amulets, that's so many amulets. I'm not sure if I can win. Maybe I can. Maybe I can just win this turn. Four, 5, 6 mana. I could get an extra mana with Urza's Cave. Urza's Cave. Put Dumpling Sphere into play. I have 8 minutes. If I want to win game 3, I have to start acting. So I will. Did I miss it on top? It was mana neutral. Okay, I guess this was not really necessary then. Yeah, let's second go. Let's go mana neutral moves. Wasted the Crumbling Vestige then, that's kinda bad. Where does that lead me? Could get skateboard. Oh, drawing Dryad Arbor is actually horrible. It's probably the worst possible draw. I mean, it leads me to the path of killing them. Maybe. The issue being accessing red mana, which I kind of cannot do. 2 Dumpling Spheres. Well, they could have, but then they don't have Tormod, so it's a bit tricky. They could have, definitely. Oh, that's how I access red mana. Of course, they have the Spirebluff Canal. Lol. I just Vesuva it. So they kill themselves. Throwing away the Crumbling Vestige was kinda almost scary. Echoing Deeps, copy Mirrorpool, Growth Tremor, that's 6 mana. So that's exactly enough to copy again. Then I get Vesuva and Hanweir Battlements, red, red, red. Haste, haste, haste. Attack for 18. Because they shocked last turn. Nice. Whoa, that's crazy. Spelunking blocks Hanweir. Nie, kurwa, Spelunka. That's true. The Spelunka gets me. We cannot kill them. That is true, I played a Spelunking this turn. It's gonna be hard to not die to skateboard now. How triple haste with Spelunk? I don't. It's tragic, I know. I only get... Yeah, I die to skateboard. Yeah, I do. That's rough. Thought I was okay, now we have to win in 3 minutes. Which might be tough. Close game, like pretty interesting situation. If I hadn't used my... I think I was okay if I hadn't blew my Urza Scave. I would have an extra Crumbling Vestige to find instead of the Semi-Growth Chamber. Which would let me haste 2 Titans. Nah, 1 Titan. It's still 1 Titan because the issue was the Hanweir not untapping, so I guess there was just no way. Okay, awkward hand, but I'll keep. Also, Vigor is pretty nice against Dumping Spheres. If people play that so much, and it seems like they play it a bunch, maybe Force of Vigor number 3 should take a spot in my sideboard over something useless, like, well, some of my cards. Some of the cards in my sideboard are quite useless, in fact. Or I could play an extra forest over a... over something. Over a 7th bounce land. I'm not entirely sure I vibe with 7 bounce lands. It's so awkward oftentimes to draw 2 of them. Actually kind of ruin my draws. Pretty often. Krang seems pretty real though. Whoa, so many artifacts. Did it kill me next turn in any chance? No, doesn't seem like it, not with this draw. Should probably get Ouphe. Let's go, skateboard. Is Affinity a fun deck to play with? Seems kind of fun. TBH. Possibly I run into Rebuke, but that's fine. Could respond to the skateboard, then they wouldn't be able to Rebuke. Oh, nice. We can win. We have enough time. Slightly random moves. But Force of Vigor is rather nice. What you don't want to happen is to get caught with Force of Vigor against wow, Ravenous Robots or Pineapple Emissary. That's a bit rough. Fetch Vexing Bauble would have been bad. Fetch Vexing Bauble would have been bad. Yeah. Ooh, that's true. That is true. Good point. GG's, love losing with 16 more minutes on the clock. Says my opponent in the chat. I think they actually do love losing like that. I don't think so. Whoa. 4-1. If they didn't, why would they type it? Yeah, I guess. Put it that way. Obviously, it had to be a truth. Wouldn't make sense. Couldn't you just Lotus Field and tap it once for red? In the previous game, they had the double dumping sphere. If they didn't, then life would be much easier indeed, but they did, so life wasn't easy at all. Life was really tough. So it was a nice league, 3 hours, so still a bit time consuming.